medicine bag in the hall closet. People who drive minivans usually know where they are. And the driver of the green minivan did, although the country wasn't where she was supposed to be at 8:30 in the morning. On her way to drop her children off at the elementary school in town, the woman had run over a goldfinch, and her daughter had cried enough to make her do something about it. The minivan's tires, rutted monstrosities that belonged on a tractor, had severed one of the goldfinch's wings and crushed the other one. The goldfinch was also missing his left eye, which the little girl said she'd looked for on the road, but couldn't find among the crumble of loose blacktop. "Poor thing," Twiss said, which meant the goldfinch wouldn't live. Twiss had spent her life saving birds. All she had to do was glance at one to know if it would recover or not. And all Milly had to do was glance at Twiss, who'd never been especially skilled at hiding what she saw. Twiss kissed the goldfinch's tawny beak. "Yes, you are a poor thing," Milly said, kissing it too. Twiss took the goldfinch, the medicine bag, and the little girl to the bathroom off the kitchen. After she laid out her instruments on a towel, Twiss would pick up Dr. Green's old stethoscope. If she heard even a faint heartbeat, she'd patch up what she could and splint whatever she couldn't with strips of balsa wood from the old model airplane in the attic. She'd offer the goldfinch a teaspoon of millet and peanut butter and hold him up to the window so he could see the sky. Once a bird had lost his ability to fly, not much else could be done in the way of mending him. Losing a wing was a little like losing a leg, and the freedom of movement, of spirit, it granted you. Most people could live without the former, but not the latter. Milly steered the mother, a woman with the frame of a thin person, but the flesh of one who'd had too many children and worries to keep her figure, to the kitchen. Instead of taking the seat Milly offered her, the mother paced across the linoleum, pausing to examine the surroundings now and then. She paid particular attention to Milly's collection of ceramic salt and pepper shakers lined up like avian soldiers, orange beak to orange beak, hummingbirds to owls, on the shelf above the stove, and to the damask wallpaper Milly and Twiss had helped their mother put up when they were girls, which had bubbled at the outset because they'd applied the glue too liberally. Over the years, the wallpaper had peeled back little by little, so that now it clung to the wall desperately, when it clung at all. The mother seemed the most interested in the milk glass lamp in the far corner of the kitchen, and the WC stenciled in blue paint on the bathroom door. Like many other visitors before her, she seemed surprised to find the house equipped with indoor plumbing and modern electricity. Milly expected the mother to say what everyone from her generation said. "We used to have that exact shade in our kitchen." What they didn't say, but what Milly had gleaned from their collective tone and the decorating magazines in the general store, was that they'd replaced the opaque milk glass fixtures with track lighting the moment they could afford it. And the moment they could afford track lighting, they could afford to be sentimental. "Oh?" Milly would say, wondering why anyone would want the equivalent of a runway on his or her ceiling. But the mother didn't say anything about track lighting. "I kept telling her a bird's nothing to cry about," she said about her daughter. "When you've had your heart broken, you'll run over a person and you won't even notice." The mother finally took the seat Milly had offered her, which pleased Milly, since she was used to people sitting down and telling her things, seeking from her a kind of emotional support only strangers could offer, while Twiss patched up the birds in the bathroom. That kind of listening made Milly feel useful, when most of the time now she felt useless. The rest of the woman's children, 3 gangly boys, were standing on the front porch, daring one another to jump off the steps into the mud puddle that had formed beside Milly's freshly watered flower beds. "Would you like a biscuit and jam?" Milly said, mentally hauling out the mixing bowl and the sack of flour from the pantry. There had to be a jar of jam left in the cellar that mold didn't inhabit. Another stick of butter, too. "I have to stay away from things I enjoy," the mother said, pulling her t-shirt over the part of her stomach that had become exposed in the process of sitting down. "This book I'm reading says if you want to be as thin as a stalk of celery, then that's what you should be eating. I'm not sure I want to look like celery, but I know I don't want to look like a biscuit." Her wristwatch began to beep, softly at first, then louder and louder. She smacked it against her leg, which changed the cadence of the beeping, but didn't stop it. Before she could turn it off, her middle boy came in into